The best NHL player at every age this season. This is a video I actually made 2 years ago, but obviously a lot of things have changed over the past couple of years. Players have gotten older, new players have came into the league, so I figured it would be fun to remake this video for the 2021-22 season, and that's a key thing for this video. It's only based off of this season and nothing else. We're not taking into account the past couple of years or anything like that. This is literally the best NHL player at every age this season, and of course it's at every age represented in the league because there's no 15-year-olds or 60-year-olds in the NHL. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. The best NHL player this season at age 18 is Cole Sillinger of the Columbus Blue Jackets, their 12th overall pick from the 2021 draft. Sillinger actually gets this spot by default because he's the only active 18-year-old that is consistently playing in an NHL lineup. Mason McTavish did play in the NHL this season, but of course he only played 9 games and was sent back to junior. Cole Sillinger isn't letting the world on fire with the numbers he's putting up as a rookie, just 15 points in 41 games, but that aside, it's a good sign nonetheless that he's even in the NHL at age 18. This is a player who I think has a really bright future. Next up, we have the best NHL player this season at age 19. It's Red Wings rookie Lucas Raymond, one of the front runners for the Calder Trophy at this point in the season, fresh off of a 2-point performance last night against the Philadelphia Flyers. He's now up to 37 total points on the season, which leads all rookies. Raymond is having a fantastic rookie season and is definitely the best 19-year-old in the NHL this year. Moving on now to the best 20-year-old this season, and this is where things get kind of dicey. It was really hard for me to choose here. I'm giving honorable mentions to Anton Lundell, Trevor Zegras, and Jack Hughes, who I probably would have given this spot had he played more games and hadn't missed as much time as he has. But my pick is Red Wings rookie defenseman Moritz Seider. I'm sure I'm going to get called a homer for this, but I really believe he has been the most impactful of 20-year-olds in the NHL this year. The way he controls the game for the Red Wings at both ends of the ice. He's already the Detroit Red Wings' best defenseman far and away. It's really not even close. After his multi-point effort last night, he's now up to 27 assists on the season, which leads all rookies in that category. He's only 1 point behind Zegras and Lundell while still being elite defensively. If the NHL season ended today, I feel like he should be the winner of the Calder Trophy, so he is my pick as the best 20-year-old in the NHL this year. Next up, we have the best 21-year-old. Definitely have to go with Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes, who's currently in the midst of putting up a career high in points per game. He's got 39 points in 41 games. To me, Svechnikov is one of the most exciting players to watch in the entire league. He's the NHL's all-time leader in Michigan goals with 2. Next up, we have 22. There's a lot of fantastic 22-year-olds playing in the NHL right now, but just based off of this season alone, I feel like there's only one right answer, and that is Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. Calder Trophy finalist last season, just fell short to Kirill Kaprizov, and has gotten even better this season. He's well over a point per game with 43 points in 36 games. I feel like right now he's probably one of the more underrated players in the entire league. Really, that entire first line in Dallas is underrated of Pavelski, Robertson, and Hintz. Moving on now to the best 23-year-old from this season. This is probably a controversial one. It came down to 2 players for me, Adam Fox and Cale Makar, and I decided to go with Adam Fox, the Norris Trophy winner from last season, who somehow has gotten even better this year. He leads all NHL defensemen with 47 points. He's maintained his fantastic defensive numbers from last season, and I know Cale Makar is scoring goals at an absurd rate and is probably going to be the first defenseman to score 30 goals since Mike Green did it with the Capitals, but just in terms of overall play, I feel like I gotta go with Adam Fox this season, but I'm not going to argue with you if you think it should be Cale Makar. Both fantastic answers. Moving on to 24, a ton of amazing NHL players at age 24 currently playing this season. I'm not going to give any honorable mentions because there's just too many, but the only correct answer for the best is Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who may be in the midst of having the best season of his career, which is pretty insane considering what he did last season and how he got off to kind of a mediocre start to this season. Across an 82-game season, he's scoring at a 60-plus goal pace. He's got 53 total points, 13 points over a point per game. His defensive numbers are actually very good as well. Austin Matthews has been dominating, and in my opinion, definitely the best 24-year-old in the NHL this season. Next up, we have 25. Similar to what I said about 24, a ton of amazing NHL players at age 25, but there's only one right answer, and it is Connor McDavid. 61 points in 43 games, well on his way to having another 100-plus point season easily. In my eyes, he is the best player on the planet, and I don't think anyone would really argue with that. And I actually just learned before clicking record to make this video that McDavid is going through yet another coaching change in Edmonton as the Oilers fired Dave Tippett today, so we'll we'll see how that goes, who they replace him with. Moving on now to the best 26-year-old in the NHL this season, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with me on this one or not. I'm giving honorable mentions to Nathan MacKinnon and Leon Draisaitl, who is literally the league leader in points right now. However, my pick is goaltender Igor Shestyorkin of the New York Rangers. I thought long and hard about this one. I decided to go with Shestyorkin just because he's putting up otherworldly numbers on a team that isn't very great defensively. He's 22-5-2, a .937 save percentage. He's the league leader in goals saved above expected. I feel like he is the clear-cut choice for the Vezina Trophy at this point in the season and should definitely be right there in the Hart Trophy conversations as well. The Rangers currently sit 5th overall in the entire NHL. If you take Shestyorkin off this team and say the Rangers have gotten just average or a little bit below average goaltending this season, there's a chance that they wouldn't even be in a playoff spot. That's how important Shestyorkin has been. That's why I decided to go with Shestyorkin over the likes of MacKinnon and Draisaitl. He's having one of the best seasons we've seen a goaltender have in a very, very long time. Speaking of goaltenders having incredible seasons, my pick for the best 27-year-old in the league this year is Andrei Vasilevskiy of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's 25-7-4, rocking a .922 save percentage and a 2.23 goals against average, well on his way to likely being nominated for the Vezina Trophy once again. I don't think he's going to win it because I feel like Shestyorkin is going to, but Vasilevskiy is definitely having another incredible season. Next up, we have 28, have a couple honorable mentions here. Nikita Kucherov, couldn't choose him because he's only played 11 games this year, and also Johnny Gaudreau, who is playing close to an MVP level. He's having the best season of his career, but my pick for the best 28-year-old this season is Jonathan Huberdeau of the Florida Panthers, who's actually currently tied with Leon Draisaitl for the league lead in points with 64. He's 17 points over a point per game, a remarkable offensive season, and he's doing it on one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. His production and what he's doing is resulting in wins, so I'm going with him for the best 28-year-old this season. Age 29, this one came down to two players for me, Mark Stone and Gabe Landeskog. Decided to give the edge to Gabriel Landeskog. Mark Stone has missed a decent chunk of time this season, so that was one of the deciding factors. They're both playing great when they're in the lineup. Landeskog currently has 45 points in 36 games, which is a career high for him in terms of points per game by far. I feel like he's really the unsung hero of the Avalanche. Obviously, a lot of the attention goes to the likes of Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, and even Mikko Rantanen, but Landeskog is really important to this team too. I don't think they would be as good as they are currently if they did wind up losing him in the most recent offseason, which for a while it looked like they were going to. Getting into the 30s now, my pick for the best 30-year-old this season is definitely Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers. However, I will give an honorable mention to his teammate Chris Kreider, who's in the midst of a career year. Artemi Panarin, however, is one of the best players in the NHL, has been for years now, and even though he's not dominating this season quite as much as he did the past couple of seasons, he's still top 10 in the league in points, even after having a pretty slow start to the season. 31 is an extremely difficult one to pick. I'm going to give a couple huge honorable mentions here to two Norris caliber defensemen in Roman Josi and Victor Hedman, but my pick is actually going to be Nazem Kadri of the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I'm definitely not saying Nazem Kadri is a better player than Victor Hedman and Roman Josi. I don't think that's true, but I do think you can say he's having the better season, and I do want to just show Kadri some love because of the ridiculous season he's having kind of out of nowhere. He's 4th in NHL scoring with 60 points, but he's actually 1st in the entire NHL in terms of points per game at 1.463, better than the likes of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Huberdeau, which is nuts. 32, I'm going with Freddy Anderson here, goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes. Honorable mention to Steven Stamkos, but I decided to go with Freddy Anderson, who has been basically top 5 in every goaltending category for the entire season, having a huge bounce back year, really reviving his career in Carolina. He's 24-6-1, has a 2.08 goals against average, a .927 save percentage. According to Money Puck's model, he is 2nd in the NHL in goals saved above expected, only behind Igor Shestyorkin. Freddie Anderson has been an absolute beast. 33, a lot of really good names, but I feel like there's only one right answer here, and it's funny enough, someone who's in the headlines right now, Brad Marchand of the Boston Bruins, who has recently been suspended 6 games for punching and high-sticking Tristan Jarry. I really shouldn't be laughing at that because you shouldn't punch a goalie, but I just always find it hilarious how Marchand does literally whatever he wants. He's one of the most hated players in the league. You can definitely make the case he's one of the dirtiest players in the league. However, you can't deny that he is one of the best players in the league. He has been this season, and he has been for years now. 34, even though he missed some time to start the season, I still feel like it has to be Sidney Crosby, who is quietly up to 41 points in 35 games. It looks like my bold prediction of him finishing under a point per game for the first time in his career in a season is not going to come true. Sidney Crosby is ageless, and when healthy, still one of the absolute best players in the league. Age 35, even though he's only played 12 games this season, I feel like I have to go with Evgeni Malkin. There's not really a whole lot of competition for this spot. Blake Wheeler, but he's really not having a great season at all. You have Alexander Radulov, but Malkin's already only 2 points behind Radulov's total, so I'm going to go with Malkin, who has looked fantastic, hasn't missed a beat since coming back from injury. 36, only one right answer here, and it's the grade 8 Alexander Ovechkin, who is having an MVP caliber season, 59 points in 47 games, 29 goals. Has definitely came back down to earth a little bit from his torrid start to the season, but I still feel like he's the right answer here for the best 36-year-old this season. 37, this is another easy one here, definitely Joe Pavelski of the Dallas Stars, who's one of the more intriguing names leading up to the deadline. Like I said, he's 1/3 of, in my opinion, one of the best lines in the league with himself, Hintz, and Robertson. He's up to 48 points in 44 games. If he keeps up at this pace, it'll be the first time in his career where he's finished a season over a point per game, which is pretty surprising to me, honestly. Age 38, going with Seattle Kraken captain defenseman Mark Giordano, whose offense has dried up a little bit, as you would expect. He's not putting up 70 plus points like he did in the 2018-19 season, but still respectable offensive numbers with 18 points in 41 games, so slightly under a half point per game pace. His defensive game still looks really solid, so Mark Giordano is my pick for age 38. Only two active NHL players at age 39, Mike Smith and Andy Green. I'm going with Andy Green here. I mean, Mike Smith's only started 8 games and he's rocking an .890 save percentage. Andy Green, though, still a pretty solid defensive defenseman. Age 40, only one active 40-year-old playing in the NHL, and that is Buffalo Sabres goaltender Craig Anderson, who is actually having a pretty solid season, all things considered. Has only played 8 games, but he's 5-3 with a .917 save percentage at age 40 on the Sabres, so pretty good from Craig Anderson. Skipping over age 41 because there's no active NHL players at that age, 42 goes to Joe Thornton. As you would expect, he's the only active NHLer at age 42. I would imagine he's likely playing in his final NHL season. I think Florida would be a pretty nice place to retire, and hey, it's looking like he's going to get one last crack at winning a Stanley Cup because that team is a wagon. Once again, skipping an age here because no player in the NHL at age 43, and the final player of the video at age 44, obviously the only 44-year-old playing in the National Hockey League, defenseman Zdeno Chara for the New York Islanders, who, like Joe Thornton, I would imagine is playing in his final NHL season. I mean, how long is he going to play for, right? Is he shooting for 50? I don't even know if there would be a team willing to offer him a contract beyond this season too, so again, I feel like we're probably going to see Thornton and Chara retire after this year. So that is going to wrap up today's video. Those were, in my opinion, the best NHL players at every age from this season, and remember, just solely based off of this season and nothing else. I feel like you get more variety that way and see some different names. If you disagreed with any of my picks, which I'm sure every single one of you disagreed with at least one, leave your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more list style videos like this where we look at the best NHL player from a certain category, then be sure to show your support, drop the video a like, I'd really appreciate it. And if this was your first time checking out the channel and you want more NHL content just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all soon.